Welcome to the discussion, folks. We're diving deep into a model that redefined sequence modeling by ditching recurrence entirely.
Yeah, wow. So we're talking about a model that uses attention alone, right?
Exactly. This architecture, it's like it completely replaces RNNs and convolutional networks by using solely attention, enabling global dependencies between input and output elements.
Mm. And they call it the transformer, yes?
Right, the transformer. It uses what they call multi-head self-attention. This means instead of one single lens looking at every token relationship, it uses multiple heads to capture different aspects like syntax and semantics simultaneously. And what's really riveting is how they avoid any sequential biases, the entire reliance on recurrence. By applying self-attention in parallel, they drastically reduce the number of sequential operations needed.
Exactly, yeah. But hold on. Isn't there a risk of losing the order information when you remove recurrence?
Great point. They tackled that by injecting positional encodings into the embeddings. Instead of learning positions, they use sine and cosine functions of varying frequencies, which smartly convey order without extra parameters.
Interesting.
The elegance is in the details. They even scale the dot product attention to counteract the risk of gradient vanishing when dimensions grow. That little scaling factor of 1 dk turns out to be essential.
Right. I was also intrigued by their use of residual connections and layer normalization after every sublayer. Doesn't that help with stability during training?
Absolutely. It not only stabilizes gradients, but also assists in training very deep modules by letting each layer learn residual functions. And then there's the feed-forward networks applied across positions separately, which are essentially one convolutions. We can't ignore the experimental prowess either. They managed to set new state-of-the-art scores on machine translation tasks, scoring 28.4 blue on English to German and 41.0 on English to French.
Wow, impressive results. But I have a slight challenge here. While the parallelization aspect is robust, do you think relying solely on attention might have limitations when it comes to very long sequences?
Fair critique. The paper mentions that the computational cost grows quadratically with sequence length ON2D. They even hint at the possibility of localized or restricted self-attention to mitigate this. It's a trade-off between the efficiency of parallel computation and the heavy cost in memory for long texts.
So it's not all perfect. And I suppose their training regime was pretty cost-effective too, training the big model in just a few days on 8 GPUs.
Precisely. They optimized using Atom with a warm-up strategy for the learning rate and used regularization like dropout and even label smoothing to curb overfitting. It's quite a comprehensive setup.
Yeah, it really sets a benchmark for future work.
Overall, it's an incisive piece of work that shifted the paradigm. It not only enhanced translation quality, but also, opened the door for applications across different modalities.
Definitely revolutionary. It's fascinating how a few clever ideas, multi-head attention, positional encodings, residual connections, can come together to redefine what we thought possible in sequence modeling.
And with ongoing research into restricted attention and overcoming quadratic cost constraints, the future looks even more exciting.
Indeed, absolutely. Thanks for breaking that down. It's been a really insightful chat about a groundbreaking model that truly changed the game in natural language processing.
Always a pleasure to explore these ideas. Until next time, keep questioning and experimenting.
Right on.